So I chose holly because nobody else was building hollies. So and I did have some kind of inkling about building hollies. So when I started that, I I there had to be some kind of protocol, and I studied all the books about holly and all that. There had to be a protocol, and part of the protocol that go way back are so it wouldn't fit in today's holly building. So I had to make my own protocol. Yes, I had to make my own protocol, and part of the protocol was to cleanse the inner self and ask for wisdom, and physically I hakud, or yeah, I created this haka or ha'a or dance or whatever you call it to give people some kind of pride, and to know that the stage or the order of erection of the holly. So the first stage in building a holly is you gotta identify yourself, tell who you are and what you're gonna do. And so I built this haka on the stages of the holly. The first stage was to build a pai pai. So you go ha, hey, ooh, ha, hey, ooh. The second stage after you build a pai pai is to plant the four corner posts. And we did this to plant the four corner posts. And after that, we have to lash all this. I don't know how many thousands of lashings up here, but we had to, there's at least 3,000. And you need to hey, or lash them, or hauhua, or hanapa'a, the sticks together. Every lashing here is rated at least 400 pounds. These lashings here are rated at least 400 pounds. So you've got multiple ones. So there's thousands of pounds of lashings in this holly. So after doing that, we go. Prior to do that, we do the hemu, which is a cleansing of ourselves and leaving our piki outside. And whatever happens in here stays in here. What happens out there stays out there. Then we ask for guidance. E ho mai ike mai luna mai ona me huna no e au ona mele e. Now we say ona hale e, because this was instituted mostly for melees and other things. So we instituted, thanks to Kalama Kabagan, we instituted the word hale, which is now more befitting our what we do. So then ehomai, ehomai, ehomai. We repeat everything 3 times so that it ho'oma'as, or you get used to saying it. Everything in the holly building, you have to, as in anything Hawaiian, you have to practice to ho'oma'a, to get muscle memory. You got to do it without thinking. You got to, much like in lua. Lua, for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. When you see something move, you either move with it, or you nalu, or it's gonna hit you. Also, much like holly building. And to quote Fafa from Tahiti one day, he says, he was helping me build a holly in Hana. He goes, "Oh, Francis, holly hard, more hard than canoe." I goes, "No way, canoe's harder to build." He goes, No. Holly has many wood inside. He spoke with his slightly Tahitian French accent. He goes, many, it's harder to build holly. I go, "No, it's easy." He goes, "Yeah, easy for you, not easy for him." And he was a carpenter at trade. So I took that, with a grain of salt. And then lately I found out that much. Yeah, it takes more to build a holly, more to build a hangar for the plane than to build one, or more to build a holly for the car than to build. So the holly for the va'a was harder to build than the va'a itself. And here's this explanation. The canoe is only one piece of log. Many guys go all over in a canoe. And I look at it now and goes, yeah, I'll put together, we have more sticks here. We have as many sticks here as the Peleliu fleet itself.
Mhm.
So, yeah. This holiday is like many, many individuals. All the posts, I purposely select posts to represent different kinds of people, shapes, and forms. So you're not going to ever see straight poles that look like it was manufactured. I have resolved to myself, everybody else can go build all those nice sanded down posts. I keep my hollies looking as natural as possible. So, that being said, when we start building, we do everything repetitiously. So if you set a rock the wrong way, it might fall out of the rock. So you remember to keep the long in the wall is strong in the wall. If you put a face rock and you line it up like this, even down line, and it's short in the wall, it may just fall out. I mean, these walls are not the straightest, but I tell you what, it's we set our walls so that we don't put cement in it. By the way, if I had my way, we wouldn't cement the walls. We'd make it thicker and more pa. But the county code requires that. We also use aho or parachute cord, and I like it because it's very, very inexpensive and very strong. So we want to keep our holly strong. For us to use Senate on this would be this holly just for the Senate alone would take about 3 to 4 miles of Senate. And I use Senate at the Disney Aulani Hotel, and I ordered 15 miles of it, and we use 13 miles at the project at Disney Aulani. So we got to take that cost into consideration. So every once in a while, I put a piece of Senate. I haven't put them in here yet, but I put a piece of Senate to lend a little bit of authenticity. So I'm going to put one right here because this one is missing, and this is called the ilio. The ilio, or the clamp. This is like a spandrel. This is a spandrel type tie. And this is a lohilau, and this is a lohilau kua. But it takes the place of what would have been there would be the ahokele. The ahokele is the transitional plane, and how appropriate this is because the ahokele, or the navigator, would sit right here and look downline on his lohilau, and then he'll look at all the houses of his navigational chart, and he goes, "Hey, turn right, turn left." I opted not to go sail with to become a navigator. I opted to become a holly builder, and I have regrets because I'm building hollies all the time, and my wife is always asking me, "Why you love hollies more than I?" I go, "Yeah." Nah, she knows better. Anyway, that being said, Imua.
No. Mahalo, Uncle. I think a question that we're trying to get raised is, besides financial support, how can folks support your work?
The communities, because every time I build a holly, I tell somebody, plant 50 lolu trees. That's the backup plan, and I don't know who has, besides me. I planted trees about almost 30 years ago, and they're now supplying the hollies I have on property in Hana. Barely enough to support that project. But you need community help. It takes a village to build a holly. It also takes a village to maintain a holly. Back in the old days, they only had small hollies, so each person was responsible for fixing his holly. But nowadays, it's at least 28 by 18, and everybody, we had a Laulima up here, and every one of this group, I mean the people from this group came up to help us, and that's how we got all this lau up here. We had to go to Maui to get the lau. So we need to think about, we're starting a program for planting lolu. I got some going on in my nursery, and we'd be happy to give out seeds for people to plant. I mean seedlings. So my number is 281-2730. It's 808-281-2730. Like 2 Kanakas ate 1 kalo. They would split them in 2 and they would eat them at 7:30. And what they do to that kalo, they did my prefix to it. I mean the number 808. They ate that taro. You cannot forget that.
Thank you, Uncle.
Where's my case? Is that it?
I think so. Solid. Anything else you wanted to add?
The owners have to maintain their own holly. It's me against 100 hollies. I cannot keep up.